Your rotational dining schedule says that the Enchanted Garden is up next, and you have no idea what to expect. What are the must-try dishes? And what's rotational dining anyway? Don't worry, we've got you covered. In today's adventure, we're having dinner at the Enchanted Garden aboard the Disney Fantasy. So, first things first, what's this rotational dining thing that happens on Disney cruises? We had the same exact question before our first Disney cruise too, and here's what we learned. Rotational dining is a unique to Disney Cruise Line experience where you're assigned to eat at a different dining room each night of your cruise. And here's how it works. On our cruise, on our first night, we ate at Animator's Palette, followed by the Enchanted Garden on the second night and the Royal Court on the third night. This pattern repeats again on night 4 with Animator's Palette and continued through the last night of our cruise. Now you may be wondering, can I choose my own dining rotation? Well, yes and no. So when we booked our cruise, we requested Animator's Palette be our first restaurant because we wanted to make sure that we were able to experience this dining room as often as possible because we had heard so many great things about it. While we did receive our request, we were told going in that there was no guarantee that our request would be granted. So if you don't receive your requested dining rotation or seating, or if you want to see if specialty dining reservations are still possible, then we suggest you head down to the Enchanted Garden on Deck 2 midship as soon as you board to speak to the cast members and see if they can make a little magic happen. So when will you know what rotation you have? Take a look at the Disney Cruise Line app to confirm where you're having dinner each night and at what time. You can also view the menu from the Disney Cruise Line app so that you know what to expect for dinner that night. Each of the main dining rooms aboard the Disney Fantasy have their own unique theme and atmosphere. The Enchanted Garden is designed to make you feel as though you've stepped into the gardens at Versailles. When you enter the restaurant, you've stepped into the garden during the day, and over the course of dinner, the sun sets and you exit at night. But what about the food? Let's dig in. We found that there were 2 things we could expect with each dinner menu. A different bread service, and in our case, we could trust our waitstaff to tell us what was good on the menu. We're also happy to say that there was a kids menu that offered different food each night of the cruise. Now this is in stark contrast to our experience on our NCL cruise where there was no effort put into the kids menu and it was the same each night. On our evening in the Enchanted Garden, we had the romaine wedge, North Atlantic lobster ravioli, applewood smoked bacon wild mushroom tart, ahi tuna and avocado tower, caramelized sea scallops, slow roasted prime rib, a hamburger and fries, and ice cream for dessert. The other unique thing about rotational dining is that the staff will move with you each night from restaurant to restaurant. We found our team to be excellent with kids, and each night there was a magic trick or origami done to entertain our little guy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did it come on a hand? Huh? You got a hole on your hand?
No.
How did it pass through from my hand to the tablecloth?
I don't know.
And of course, his meal came on a Mickey-shaped plate. Here's what we thought of our only meal at Enchanted Garden. We started off with the North Atlantic lobster ravioli with roasted garlic and sweet basil in a tomato broth. The dish comes with 2 pieces of pasta and we could definitely taste the basil. There was more cheese than lobster in the dish. The other pitfall of this dish is that it did not arrive to the table hot, which really took away the enjoyment of the dish. We thought the lobster ravioli was really just okay. Unfortunately, this dish was a miss for us. We also had the applewood smoked bacon wild mushroom tart with creamy leeks, and we thought this dish was absolutely amazing. We honestly weren't sure what to expect when we ordered. Which leads us to a cruise dining tip. A cruise is the perfect low-risk opportunity to try new and different foods and flavors. The food in the main dining room and buffet is included in your cruise fare, and there's no downside to trying something new. As it turns out, the applewood smoked bacon wild mushroom tart was really more of a souffle than a tart. The eggs were perfectly cooked, the mushrooms were delicious, and the sauce it was sitting on was also amazing. And we can't believe we're about to say this, but as lobster ravioli fans, we much preferred the wild mushroom tart. Our only wish for this dish is that it had just a little more mushroom, and this is our first must-do dish. Next up was the ahi tuna and avocado tower with crispy noodles and wasabi dressing. Now our sushi fan in the group thought this was excellent. The tuna and avocado were perfectly mixed with wasabi on the side. There were scallions and cilantro in the dish, which added to the great flavors. And we're happy to say that the tuna was thankfully fresh and flavorful. This is your second must-do dish. We also tried the romaine wedge, which was fresh, crisp romaine topped with a creamy romano dressing and homemade spiced croutons. This was really a pretty standard salad and lands in the solid offering category. It's neither a hit or a miss. For our main course, we had the caramelized sea scallops with roasted asparagus, sun-dried tomato couscous, caramelized leeks, and red wine veal jus. Fancy. And the dish was amazing. The scallops were fresh, flavorful, and tender. The couscous was even good. How often can you say that? This makes the caramelized sea scallops your third must-do dish. Our next dish was the slow-roasted prime rib with thyme-roasted veggies, double-roasted potato, natural jus, and horseradish. We thought the prime rib was good. It was a solid option, but not the best prime rib, nor was it the worst prime rib we've ever had. There was simply nothing remarkable about the dish, and this does not make it a bad meal, because the meats and the sides were all very flavorful. Because of this, we're leaving it off of our miss and off of our must-do list. For dessert, we all had ice cream. On the menu this evening was the chocolate brownie sundae, which leads us to another cruise dining tip for you. And that is that you should know that you can ask for substitutions on the menu, and the dessert is no exception. So if you want a dish without a certain sauce, or you want to sub in some fries, for example, you can do that. And because of this, none of us had the sundae as it was described on the menu. We simply had plain chocolate ice cream sundaes and a chocolate and vanilla scoop. We did enjoy the ice cream. It was not a premium brand, but it was always a solid choice on this cruise. As a result, we're leaving the ice cream off of our miss and off of our must-do list. Now, according to our dining rotation, we were supposed to eat at Enchanted Garden again on our cruise, but only ate in this dining room once. What we did instead was to try out one of the specialty dining options. On the Fantasy, you can have brunch or dinner at either Palo or Remy. We had brunch at Palo, the Italian-themed fine dining restaurant. And we had dinner at Remy, the French restaurant, on what would have been our second night at the Enchanted Garden. And based on our experience, here's our Enchanted Garden dinner scorecard. Your experience may have been different. Let us know, what were your hits and what were your misses? Stay tuned for what we thought of our dinner at Remy. In the meantime, join us for brunch at Palo to see what we thought of this experience. We hope you enjoyed dinner at Enchanted Garden. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you know when the next adventure begins. And no matter where your next adventures take you, we hope that you enjoy the journey. Bye now.